Okay, so last time on Tourist Trophy, we did the completion of Suzuki in the challenge mode, and now that means we have officially completed 3 of the 10 manufacturers in the challenge mode. And what that also means is we are now going to head up to Yamaha for what should be our 4th completed manufacturer, as last time we got all of the expert and super licensed bikes from Suzuki, and now we have just 4 remaining at Yamaha, and then once we're done with that we'll pretty much finish off BMW, and then we'll pretty much be finishing off all the other manufacturers, since they only have either 2 or 3 bikes. I figured it was ideal for me to take this approach. That's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to head over here. And we are now going to Yamaha, where we have the RZV 500R, the YZF R6, the XJR 1300, and the YZF R1. All of these, of course, are racing modified bikes, as you might have guessed. And let's get going. Starting with the RZV 500R for 1 lap at Autumn Ring. And I am pretty sure this is no doubt going to be pretty easy by the time I get to the front. And our competition, as I would have expected, the Suzuki RG500 Gamma and the Honda NS 400R. And we have 100 horsepower. So we are basically right dead center in the middle, and I was only inches away from failure there, but I somehow survived nonetheless. And now I have to figure out how to pass my 2 opponents. As the gap now to the leader is only 2 seconds. I would have suspected this was going to be fairly easy. And going for a move up the inside, and that is pretty much job done. And there we go. It's done. And all that took me was 56.7 seconds. So pretty much a done deal well before it was more or less meant to be done. Anyway, whatever. We got it done, and that's 1 vehicle down. And now all we have to do is chase after the other 3 vehicles that we get from Yamaha. As our next one will be the YZF R6. Our first of 4 vehicles has now been won. And now we move on to the R6. And once again we are at Suzuka Circuit. So I would widely suspect this is going to be pretty easy for me to score this bike, because I scored the other 2 pretty easily, and I'm pretty much expecting the same again. My bike may not be the most powerful, but I certainly have learned that regardless of how much power the bike has, as long as you know what you're... I do not know what I am doing. Oh well, let's try again. I kind of knew that was going to happen. So, we try again. And this time I do not overshoot the corner. And now I just have to figure out how to get past. I think that was the Suzuki I just passed there. So all that's left between me and victory is the Kawasaki Ninja, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to pass him in just a matter of feet. And going around the outside, through the S-curves, and now heading up through Dunlop. And there we go. The YZF R6 race bike is now ours. Even then, of course, if I failed on my first attempt, but whatever, that's by the by. And I don't really seem to be having any problems at the moment, so I think we're pretty much Gucci for now. Anyway, time now to move on to the XJR 1300 Racing Modify. So 2 of our 4 bikes have now been claimed, and all we have to do now is get the other 2. And then afterwards, we can then move on to BMW. But there we go. That is the Yamaha YZF R6. Now ours. Had a little blip on the first attempt, but second attempt I did everything I was supposed to do, and as a result I succeeded almost immediately. Anyway, time now for Fuji once again, as this time we are on the Yamaha XJR 1300. And as I would have expected, we've got the Kawasaki ZRX 1200 and the Honda CB 1300 as our competition here. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully I have not overshot the corner, and thankfully I haven't. I thought for sure I might have overshot it just a little bit there, but I was able to avoid catastrophe. And now closing in on the Kawasaki and making my move down the inside as we head through this wide corner here. You may want to lift on that corner exit. You never want to take that corner flat out on a bike, because if you do, then you'll pretty much pull yourself up and you'll pretty much lose whatever control you had over the tyres. In other words, you'll pretty much fall off if you go flat out through that one part of the course before the hairpin. And now closing in on the leader as we get up to the front straightaway, and stepping on the brakes just a little bit there and making sure that I have a clear view behind me. And so there we go. The bike is now mine, because the Honda is going to hit the speed limiter, and at 180 I get the Kawasaki XJR 1300 race bike in literally 100 seconds. As it took me a full lap to officially win this bike. But whatever, we got it done. And now all that's left is the YZF R1, which I would imagine is going to be a pretty easy bike for me to win, because it's probably going to be another time trial at Valencia, from what I know. At least I think that's what we'll be doing. But anyway, 3 out of 4 Yamaha bikes are now ours. And all that's left is the YZF R1. Let's go and get 'em, boy. Since that is the only bike we have left to collect. So there we go. The XJR 1300 is now ours. In its racing variant. Anyways, YZF R1 and time trial time. As we've once again got to do 1 minute and 44 around the Valencia circuit, something which I have now done 3 times before, and I'm pretty sure that once I get enough practice, I will no doubt be able to do this again a 4th time. Because that is just how all-encompassing I pretty much am to riding around Valencia now. And pretty much on the brakes at the right amount of speed. I didn't go too deep or too shallow. And a little bit of a lock up there as I got on the curbs, but able to still keeping control of the bike. And it looks as though everything at the moment is going as it should. Just have to remember to stay on the bike. And on the brakes early, because I know if I go too fast entering that corner, then the corner will pretty much catch me out. As I have known that from making the mistake before, but everything is going well at the moment. I don't want to jinx it obviously, but we're pretty much on target for winning the bike from what I can see. I had to take a little lift there and another lift just so I would make the corner. The best way to enter the final corner is from the outside, and getting pretty reasonable exit speed, and it looks like it's going to be another 142, and it is. A 142.1 is the time I now set. And just like that, I get the Yamaha YZF R1 first try. And that is now the end of the expert and super bikes from Yamaha. And next up will be BMW, where we have got not 1, but 2 super bikes to win. So, last but not least, from Yamaha, the YZF R1 racing bike is now ours. And as ever, putting on my distinctive number 24, as you can quite clearly see. Just want to see if I can get a view of the front. Yep, there it is. And there we go. Alrighty. So that's now Yamaha finished in challenge mode. And next up will be BMW. And then we'll go through the other 5 manufacturers. So, we have now gained another 4 bikes. And if I can just find them somewhere in here, I should be able to find them somewhere. Yes, here they are. These are the 4 bikes we get. I should also mention the XJR 1300 and the YZF R1 both pretty much have the same colour scheme. I just figured I'd mention that, at least in terms of their tricolour rhythm. Anyway, 42.3% is what we are now. So we've gained another 1.9% as a result of finishing Yamaha. Anyways, next up, Superbikes BMW.